I do.
Marcus ain't here.
Hi, I'm Pete Musto. I'm from Tacoma Park, Maryland. I'm a comedian, and I'm today's whitespert. So I realized I was white when I was maybe like a junior in high school. I was actually put into in-school suspension for trying to steal the cover of a vending machine with a friend of mine. And when we were in school suspension, a kid came up to me and was like, "Hey, you're white, you're smart, can you help me do my homework?" And at that point I was failing out of high school. So I definitely could not help that person. I was like, wow, this person really just thinks that because I'm white I know something.
Round one.
So, can you tell me, why do white people like to go to shooting ranges?
Alright, so I'm not an advocate of like gun ownership really. But
Did you go to the range?
There's in PG County there's a public shotgun range that I go to, that it just kind of like shooting guns is kind of fun. Like I get the sort of immature desire to just be like bah, 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 you know, like, and I don't know, it's like kind of like a release, and I think that white people are very tense, so they need that release for one thing, but yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of fun in like a reckless, stupid way.
Aren't you afraid you might get shot?
At the ranges that I've been to, they're pretty well made. Like the rules are pretty strict. You know, if they see you fucking around, like they will not let you continue. But I'm sure there's also a lot of weirdos that hang out at gun ranges. So I don't.
What defines a weirdo at a gun range?
Oh, what defines a weirdo at a gun range? Probably any white dude who like will not reveal his, like wears like dark sunglasses, maybe like a mustache that looks fake but isn't, you know, and maybe like sort of like a hoodie, you know, kind of Unabomber-ish. I'm sure there's like quite a few of those people at any given gun range at any given point of any day.
Cause like, there's so many. I'm just curious about the whole like the tense part, cause you're like white people are tense, and
Seems like there's yoga, you could stretch, you can breathe.
Also, y'all are the ones who make the world tense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not denying that, but I feel like there's, well, for one thing, there's probably some guilt in associated with being white. Like, oh, we are just like fucking everything up.
But then why does that lead to I need to shoot something? Because that seems like a.
Yeah,
I feel bad. Let me go like, shoot something. Not where I go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's really like for some people, it's definitely like an anger thing. But
what are they angry about?
What?
What are you angry about?
I'm not angry when I'm shooting a gun. I'm having a blast.
Literally?
A literal blast. But I think it's like, it's immature fun, which is like one thing that is appealing to white people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking like riding dirt bikes and like...
Whoa, I ride dirt bikes.
Yeah, okay, well, I mean, I feel like there are certain things that like, whitewater rafting.
Oh yeah, that's some
right?
shit.
That's like... That is a sort of like a recklessly immature, like, let me put my life in danger for what exactly? So, I don't know, I feel like white people find those things very appealing for some reason.
Is it because your life just isn't interesting? Like, you don't have the institutional racism on you, so you gotta find something else to bring that spark?
I don't know, that's a good question.
Because the reason why like black people don't participate in like life-threatening things is just because being in America is a life-threatening thing for us.
But you said you ride dirt bikes, right?
I mean, yeah, it's not really life-threatening as long as the cops aren't chasing us.
Yeah, I mean,
it's very like Philly, Baltimore, not so much DC, but like yeah, the hills are very bumpy. So
yeah, but I've seen dudes out there like, you know, doing wheelies and shit, like doing driving.
Why else are you gonna ride a dirt
bike?
No,
I mean that's exactly good, but that is life threatening. Like you could flip up and like break your neck or something like that. I feel like there is some universality to that, but like at the same time, I don't know. There's something especially appealing to immature, risky.
Y'all go bungee jumping. Black people don't do that shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. Bungee jumping or
y'all do the fucking squirrel suits.
Yeah, squirrel suits. I don't know.
Jumping on airplanes.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I will never do.
Mm.
That appeals to a specific type of person. I don't think it's necessarily like that's a thing that white people would like to do. It's like that's a thing that like people who are something deeply wrong with them like to do.
Like Will Smith.
Yeah.
He jumped out of a plane?
Yeah, for his 50th birthday.
But Will has a lot of money. I feel like if you get to a certain point with money, you can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like there's only so much coke you can do.
Yeah. Is Will Smith into coke? Like
I assume all rich people are into coke at some point.
That's true.
You're rich. If I was rich, I would do coke. Because I also not gonna afford a doctor in case I need like to have the like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
the
too much
adrenaline.
coke.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's a rich people thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Closest I get is Red Bull.
Yeah.
Drinking it really, really fast.
I don't know. Do you guys ski or snowboard? I don't know.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, it is a very expensive hobby.
How am I gonna get to the snow?
There's a place that's like only an hour from here. No. Oh well. I mean, like my dad. I think skiing is. I guess like, it is a very white thing, specifically because it comes from like Nordic peoples, but.
And y'all took a mode of transportation and turned it into, all right, let's go down a hill really, really fucking fast.
Yeah, and also let's like do like 360 spins in the air and shit like that, and like jump off of huge ledges and shit. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess there's something about that reckless idiocy that is very white. That's why white people like to shoot guns.
But being tense. Why are you guys tense?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think there's, for a lot of white people who have white guilt are like, they feel bad, but like also feel incapable of changing anything, so that they kind of, they sort of, I guess, feel like I'm fucking everything up, but I don't know what to do to fix it, and they don't want to admit that they're wrong or that they're contributing to fucking everything up.
Why don't they Google?
What? Sorry?
Why don't they Google?
Why don't they Google? What do you mean?
Go to the library. If you think you're doing something wrong, you can just Google.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I just think that like human people in general don't ever want to admit their own flaws, but white people are just sort of tense because I think there is some kind of understanding that, like we were responsible for a lot of bad things, and that's why I think they react so harshly when getting accused of racism. Because they're like, no, I'm not racist. No, I'm not racist. But, in a way, white people are, so...
Well, society that they've created is...
Round 2.
Why does alcoholic seltzer exist, and why do white people love that shit? Because it seems that shit is y'all's, firmly.
So, well, first of all, I didn't start liking seltzer at all until I'm like, how old are you?
I'm about to be 32.
Okay. Yeah, I think I was about like 32, 33 when I was like, yeah, I all of a sudden a switch flipped in my brain, and I was like, I like this all of a sudden. I always hated it. I thought it was an old people drink, and I think that might be it. But you start liking it when you all of a sudden get older and your taste buds change. But as far as alcoholic seltzer, there's white people like things like that because they like things that are inoffensive in a way. I think, like, you know what I mean, like things that are
so no seasoning, no flavor.
Yeah, I mean, like that joke is kind of true, and I think like that's why you like.
Does it overwhelm you if there's too much flavor?
I mean, not me personally. I think a lot of people just like. There's a lot of like that sort of don't rock the boat. Be fake nice, sort of Midwesternish.
But why do you
thing
want
to
that
white
throughout
people.
your life? Like, you could do that outside. Why you gotta punish yourself when you get inside?
I'm not. I'm just saying that like there's they, especially like the older generation, like my parents or people like that, like they don't talk about things that might be upsetting to them, or they don't like cursing or.
But here's the thing, like you're drinking. Like
Okay.
So we're drinking. Like we've decided that we are going to partake in adult activities, adult beverages, and then your adult beverage of choice is water that has been infused with, I don't even, like, what is it? Like it's not even like liquor in there. It's like beer water, but it's like before they like add the hops to the beer water.
You could say. I mean, the thing is, like, white people love like fake things that they believe are making them healthier.
It's alcohol.
You know what I mean? It is, so like they like to.
But it's alcohol. Like tequila is a
Well,
probiotic.
if you can convince yourself that what you're doing is good for you, wouldn't you do it? If you're like, oh, this is not actually like a Budweiser. This is seltzer. Like I'm not pouring shitty brewery water or whatever, hop water into my body.
Is that what it is?
I think so. I think there's like
It's just like
Amstel.
carbonate?
Well, I don't know what's in the seltzer water. I think it's like. Does anybody know? Like
I feel like it's cat piss.
Yeah,
I
cat
thought they
piss.
just poured some vodka in it a little
No,
bit.
they don't.
It's not vodka.
No,
It's like
that
a
shit has
weird non-alcohol.
and it has less like percentage than like actual like natural light beer.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not even really drinking. You're just like, oh, look at me.
It's like Amstel Light. Have you ever had Amstel
I
Light?
don't drink beer.
Or no, or it was a Michelob Light. They're like both beers that were like originally advertised as like fitness beers, like beers you could drink and like.
But if I'm drinking,
What's wrong with y'all? How you gonna be healthy and drink?
that's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
the internal problem of white people. They're like incredibly self-damaging, but like completely oblivious to it.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, right. But yeah, alcoholic seltzer to me is like indicative of a lot of things about like white people. Like I saw on your list, Kenny G. It's like that's sort of he's like the alcoholic seltzer of music. You know what I mean? Like he's just like pleasant to a certain extent.
because he looks like Sideshow Bob after it rains.
His hair is nice. I think he has beautiful hair.
He also is inoffensive. His music is like just you're having a good time, not thinking about much. Everything's light, breezy. You got this alcoholic drink that barely has any alcohol in it. You convince yourself you're staying hydrated, because I've heard that excuse many times.
Drink water, like actual fucking water. Oh my god. All right, so what you're saying is White Claw pairs well with Kenny G, which pairs well with being bland as fuck, or as you all term it, inoffensive.
Inoffensive, yeah. Not upsetting, in any way, or like challenging you. That's like, I feel like
you're challenging the sanctity of my event if you show up with a 6-pack of White Claw. Like, why did you even come? You wasted all the gas to come here and bring a 6-pack of. Do you show up with the? I don't even know the brands. What is it? Bubbly and White Claw and Truly. Have you ever been the guy who shows up with a 6-pack? Somebody's like, yo, bro, bring a 6-pack.
No, but I did go through a period of bringing twisted teas to parties. You know what those are?
Sounds like tea with alcohol.
Yeah, those like they're similar to White Claw in that they're like a little bit more sugary, but you drink them and it's kind of like you're drinking nothing.
Did it have flavor?
I mean, it just tasted like tea with a little bit of booze in it, which was, if you're like outside drinking, listening to Kenny G, by the river, that's what we do.
I'm very disturbed.
So I'm here, just doing all morning, disturbing you about secrets of white culture.
Why? It seems like y'all don't want happiness. Like,
Whoa!
maybe that's why you're tense.
Yeah, probably.
Like how many like White Claws do you even have to, or Trulies or whatever, do you have to go through to like even feel anything?
Usually about a case or two. That's for me personally.
And aren't them shits more than beer though? So they cost more than beer. They have less alcohol
I don't know
than
if they
beer.
cost more than beer.
Oh, they don't.
No, but
I just assume because I only see them in like you don't see them in like the bodegas or like the corner stores. You see them in like Whole Foods.
yeah, I mean, well, they
Or
know
like-
who their target audience is.
Yeah.
People who are like, oh, got their kale and they're like, I don't know, like 12 grain bread, and they're like, ooh, I want to have some fun on Saturday, but like not too much fun.
Wait, how much grains does bread normally have?
I don't know.
Because you said 12. Now I feel like I have insufficient breads.
It's another white people thing. More grain in the bread. Get it in there as much as you can. 25 grain, 30 grain.
Kale is great though.
What?
Kale is
Kale
great.
is good. Kale is
I like my grains and my alcohol.
good. Right now you drink grain alcohol. That's why you don't like seltzer. Just not hard enough for you. I get it, man.
I mean, if we're gonna be drinking,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like if we're going to
We're gonna
to
party,
take the
let's
opportunity to do something,
Sure.
I don't go in halfway. It's like we either doing this to do this, or we could just drink water and go like play outside or something, like, shoot some hoops, like
Yeah.
yeah.